Looking for your next obsession? Download the Webtoon app to discover thousands of free comics, manga, and graphic novels. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the anime whose content and themes haunt viewers long after watching them. Number 20, Mononoke. Visually stunning and dripping with atmosphere, Mononoke follows the investigations of an unnamed medicine seller into incidents involving the eponymous negative spirits. With a new story every few episodes, the series delves into the horrific histories behind the Mononoke, with each new case playing out like a particularly disturbing murder mystery. The medicine seller may be able to exorcise the demons he encounters, but many of the grisly events are sure to stay with you long after you've finished the show. You can only hope that the nightmares you get will be just as pretty to look at. Number 19, JunjiIto Collection. Horror anthologies are nothing new, but when one of the biggest names in Japanese horror gets some of their stories put into one anime, everyone pays attention. Every episode tells a new story from Junji Ito's twisted imagination. Endless dreams, monstrous beautiful women, and creepy marionettes are just a few of the things that go bump in this collection.
Do you hear me? You've stolen my heart!
Although some connoisseurs of Ito's work have criticized the series for not fully capturing his terrifying art style, if that means we spend less time with the cold sweats, we're kind of okay with it.
Now I am the star.
Number 18, Blood Sea.
So you don't need us anymore. We're finished, aren't we?
They say that blood will tell, and Blood Sea tells a truly disturbing story indeed. Saya is a seemingly ordinary high schooler who moonlights as a sword-wielding monster hunter. The elder men she battles are fiends with a taste for human blood. However, even Saya's double life is more than it seems, and the violence and psychological trauma only increase as the show goes on. Whether the series has you questioning what's real like the protagonist, or the shockingly high body counts and grisly kills get to ya, Blood Sea has a greater than average amount of horror.
This ends right now, you hear me? Now! I will not let anyone else die!
Number 17, Yami Shibai, Japanese Ghost Stories. Sometimes less is more, and that certainly applies to horror. Yami Shibai, Japanese Ghost Stories is an anthology anime whose bite-sized, under 5-minute episodes are a concentrated dose of spooky entertainment. The animation may be minimal, yet Yami Shibai manages to evoke some spine-tingling terror nonetheless. It takes the kind of eerie ghost stories told around a campfire and delivers them right to the safety, or not so safety, of your living room. Some episodes also offer fresh twists on familiar tropes. Yami Shibai may mean theater of darkness, but we don't recommend watching it with the lights off. Number 16, Mieruko-Chan. Horror comedies are funny, sure, but they can still be terrifying. Miko is a high school girl who can see ghosts.
今日はさっさと寝よう。
Despite being repeatedly traumatized by seeing the many disturbing spirits that haunt her and the people close to her, she still tries her best to ignore them. Miko's continual failure to do so leads to some darkly hilarious comedy, with some particularly great reactions from everyone else. We honestly can't blame her though. If we had to see what she does on a regular basis, we'd probably need therapy at the very least. Number 15, Genocyber.
At last it has begun.
This 90s cyberpunk anime isn't so much forgotten as it was repressed from everyone's memories. Combining elements of mecha anime and body horror, the titular Genocyber is an enormous rampaging bioweapon created by the fusion of two psychic sisters.
What the hell's got into him?
Demons!
Even when the Genocyber isn't leaving devastation in its wake, the young girl it grows from leaves practically everyone who meets her in shock at best. Those looking to exploit Genocyber for their own gains are little better either. Genocyber is a bleak, grim sci-fi outing, and anyone hoping for a happy ending should consider how much the title sounds like genocide.
Look, she's an angel!
Number 14, Elfin Lead. She's just a little girl. She's not dangerous, right? Well, young Lucy is a psychic pink-haired girl whose powers can slice or tear people apart. So, wrong, I guess. The series follows her escape from the organization that experimented on her, as well as her further conflicts with them, and her attempts to connect with humanity. However, for as horrific as Lucy's powers can be, the people she meets have us questioning who the real monsters are.
辛いか、痛いか、安心しろ。すぐに楽にしてやる。
Let's just say that if violence against animals is triggering for you, you might want to stay clear.
これでこの地獄からすぐに解放してやる。
Number 13, The Promised Neverland, Season 1. Season 2 never happened, we're all in agreement on this. But as nightmarish as it was, Season 1 was scary in all the right ways. A group of children at an orphanage discover the grim truth behind their existence. They're being raised as fodder for demons.
怖い。ノエ。私たちは食料。
Determined to escape their grisly fate, they band together and work out how to leave their prison behind. Between the demons lurking outside the walls and the kids' sinister human caretakers, The Promised Neverland takes childhood fears and turns them up to 11.
本当は諦めてなんかないんだろ、エマ。
Like imagine if your parents or guardians were raising you as food for the monsters that definitely don't live in your closets. Try sleeping now, kids.
さよなら、ママ。
行かないで、エマ。私の可愛い子供たち。
Number 12, Corpse Party, Tortured Souls.
どっちにしようかな。死ぬわ。お姉ちゃんにしようかな。
Yeah, this series is less party and more corpsey. A group of students are transported to a decidedly haunted elementary school after performing a charm. The kids quickly find themselves pursued by vengeful ghosts, who start picking them off in some truly horrific ways. Possession, hanging, stabbings, the list goes on. Tortured Souls is right on the money, and the few survivors, as well as the viewers, are unlikely to come away from the experience with anything approaching sweet dreams. Still, for those with a strong stomach or a concerning amount of schadenfreude, Corpse Party might be the anime for you.
今殺してあげるからね、お兄ち。
Number 11, Made in Abyss. Oh, the art style is so cute and beautiful. This girl and her cyborg friend are going on a fun adventure into a big underground world. This is gonna be super wholesome.
オースへようこそ、メグ。
Or so we all thought. The children's journey is rife with some of the most horrific nightmare fuel out there. Body horror, abuse, graphic violence, Made in Abyss holds little back.
これは興味深い。素晴らしい。
Rico and Reg may be staring into the abyss, but the abyss is staring into them too, as well as everyone watching. But all that misery will be worth it once Rico finds her mom, right? Experience comics, manga, and graphic novels the webtoon way, with millions of free stories and new episodes published daily. Download the app and find your next obsession. Number 10, Parasite. It's invasion of the body snatchers all over again, only this time they come in the form of little space bugs that turn their host bodies into living weapons and who happen to have a particular taste for human flesh.
バリケードのつもりか。自分で逃げ道を塞ぐとはな。
If the sight of watching a person's body unravel into bladed tendrils doesn't gross you out, then the multitude of cannibalism and human dismemberment on display is sure to scratch that itch.
動かない方がいい。動くと余計痛い。
One thing's for sure, this show's going to give you a lot of trust issues, and you sure as heck aren't going to sleep at night for fear that a parasite's gonna attack ya.
潜り込んだ。登ってくる。
Number 9, Shiki. It's an age-old question. Between vampires and humans, who truly is the biggest monster? In this instance, it's both.
All right. I'll definitely come and visit. Sometime soon.
You've got the children of the night slowly infecting their way across a rural town, calling and converting innocent lives as they go. Then you got the humans who, when pushed into a corner, resort to their baser instincts and mob mentality. Even if the Shiki are horrifying to behold, seeing their disgusting and gruesome fates is still pretty gnarly. Number 8, Serial Experiments Lain. Blood and guts aren't the only way to mess up a viewer's head. Sometimes good old-fashioned weirdness manages to cut the mustard.
今週に入ってから何人にもメールが来てるのよ。だってその子、そう、死んだ子からメールが来るはずがない。でも来る。
In this instance, we've got the oh-so-depressing adventures of a socially isolated and depressed young girl as she tries to cope with the vexing messages from a computer world known as the Wired.
あっちへ行け。あっちへ行け。
This doesn't just amount to plenty of spam mail, as the Wired's apparent omnipotent ruler has a nasty way of distorting reality around her, including making an alien randomly appear just outside her room. Still not over that. Number 7, Goblin Slayer. You'll never play Dungeons and Dragons the same way.
切り込む。おお、一の年は任されよ。
What started as just another fantasy show quickly took a tumble into controversial territory when our stereotypical cast of adventurers ended up getting mauled to death by a horde of tiny yet deadly goblins, though that might have been a kind of fate compared to what befell some of the others within the group. No matter what you think of its attempts at storytelling, you can't deny it put a lot of people on edge whenever those green bastards reared their ugly heads. Number 6, another. On repeated viewings, you might be able to find a couple of the fates that befell the unfortunate students unintentionally hilarious. That being said, this series does possess a terrific sense of dread about it, as you never know which of the extensive cast are gonna bite the dust in the most unconventional of ways. Getting impaled by an umbrella, struck by lightning, trapped in a plummeting elevator, this series will ensnare you with its tension until you're jumping at every little shadow in your peripheral. Number 5. Higurashi, When They Cry. Finally, a series that warns you against the obvious dangers of cute, adorable girls.
One more thing. Please don't be absent tomorrow.
After all, you never know when one might snap and decide to put needles in your rice balls, try to cleave your head off with a hatchet, rip out your fingernails, or just all around lose the plot thanks to a terrifying curse. It's a menagerie of unpleasant experiences that the entire cast go through over and over thanks to the constant time warping. Pick a torture and have at it.
You are so going to die.
Number 4. Devilman Crybaby. If you ever need an excuse to hate humanity, just take a gander at Go Nagai's brutal magnum opus. There's plenty of demon slaying and naughty content to satisfy the most hardcore of action anime junkies. But where this reimagining really shines is in its portrayal of mankind's rabid descent into anarchy, following the reveal that Hell's minions walk among them. The pinnacle of despair is without a doubt when, well, let's not spoil it. After witnessing such misery, you'd want to burn down everything to the ground. Number 3. Ganso. This CGI adaptation may be lacking the eternal horniness of K and some of the more memorable deaths from the original series, but what it does have is nightmare fuel and plenty of it. The way the animation elevates the sickening designs of the aliens, especially that final boss, is haunting. All of that interstellar weaponry, and even a mecha wielding a giant electric katana, can't take away from the threat of these creatures. Might want to reconsider that whole pacifism thing when you're staring at something as ugly as the Nurarihon, hey Kato? Number 2. Terraformers. Do we really need to spell it out? Giant humanoid cockroaches from Mars that love nothing more than ripping humans apart with their bare hands. How can you not lose sleep over that? An attempt to colonize the Red Planet leads to an all-out war between humanity and the uber-strong roaches that dominate its surface. While engineered super soldiers manage to turn the tide in Earth's favor, that still doesn't take away the dread of seeing a sea of alien roaches charging forward with their gargantuan, chiseled bodies, ready to pull some poor fella's spine out. Nothing scarier than a bug that can't be squashed. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Perfect Blue. A classic and quintessential anime of psychological horror, this exploration into the dangers of the online world and the infectious nature of paranoia is borderline prophetic. Mima's desperate struggle against her stalker, as well as her own fractured sanity, is beautifully realized, which of course means that it's scary as hell to behold. Knowing what we do now about the internet and social media, the disturbing imagery and implications are strengthened tenfold. A little bit of realism goes a long way, so don't be shocked if you suddenly get the urge to dismantle all electronics in your house and triple lock the windows. Is there an anime whose absence on this list is gonna keep you up tonight? Sleep easier and share your pics in those comments below.
なんだか今日疲れてんのかな?
I'm obsessed with Webtoon lately, are you? If not, you're missing out. Download it now to read the latest cool comics, manga, and graphic novels that everyone is talking about.